welcome to another Saddle Up with Sienna. And today we're going to be going over another jumping lesson with Chip, except this time we're going to be in the big jumper arena. This was our first ever time up here, so it was a bit new to me, and it's a lot bigger than some of the other arenas that we have at the farm, and I just loved it up there. It's beautiful, and all the jumps are so beautiful. I just love it all. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So now we are warming him up in canter, and he's feeling very good at the time. He's like, woohoo! Haven't been up here in a while. And so he was quite excited, and he just wanted to go. He was, as you can see, I kind of just look like, he's the one controlling me. But, I mean, I am turning in a circle and trying to half-haul him. And there, he does a really willing transition back to trot, which was pretty good. I was proud of that, considering how he was cantering a little bit. I mean, it wasn't too crazy, but it was just a little bit on the too fast, because he was just flying. He was going a bit crazy for on the fly. He should have been a bit more collected. He was just kind of running. Even if it wasn't fast, it's still running, and he's not using himself, and so that's not really good. Plus, it is a little bit fast, much faster than Magoo, for instance. Probably 3 times as fast as Magoo's canter. So now we're going to trot into the green vertical to the red and white cross rail. And he does the vertical really nicely, in my opinion. He lands on the correct lead and everything. But then we have a really drifty ride to the cross rail. It is on the bending line, and it's heading towards our brand new pavilion, which he is quite afraid of. So he always gets a bit drifty whenever we go towards it. Then I bring him back to trot, and he's such a good boy, and I give him some pats and some love. So now we're going to trot into the white and red cross rail. And he wasn't as bad this direction, and we get a straight ride to the cross rail, but we land on the incorrect lead. And so I had to bring him back to trot, but then he fights and goes back to canter, and then I bring him back to trot again, and it's just a never-ending battle between whether we're cantering or trotting. So now we are going to trot into the red and white cross rail to the green and white vertical. So this is our first time ever being up in the big jumper arena. So it was a bit spooky, and we were both just learning. And we have a really obedient ride to that cross rail, and he came back to trot straight away. Then we jumped that little vertical and land on the incorrect lead, but that's all right. But as I was saying, it was our first time up in the jumper ring, so it was a little bit spooky. And now we're going to trot into the white and green fence to the white and red cross rail to the white and red brick vertical. And he did really well with this. A really drifty ride to the cross rail. Barely got in there. And now we bring him back to trot, getting him ready for the vertical. I apologize that you can't barely see it because it's covered up by a bunch of other jumps, but that's all the footage we could get. So now we're going to do a kind of like miniature course. We are trying into this little tree vertical first, and we end up landing on the wrong lead. We're going to go around the green little vertical and straight for the Schneider's combination. And he did really well with this. He is such a good boy. We're really focusing on trotting because, I mean, we hadn't been in the big arena yet, so it was a nice little treat. He does that one great, very obedient. Then we come back to this one, and he's like, nope, I'm not trotting. And so I'm just like, trot, trot, trot. And I didn't try hard enough. And we ended up cantering into that last one, but that's all right. I bring him back to trot this time, and he stays in trot because I learned my lesson. Now we're going to do this again, only we're going to tie in the sailboat jump as well. Beautiful jump over those trees for a trot fence, and he lands on the correct lead. Wonderful trot coming out of it. And then he goes for the slightest second in a frame, then he pops his head back up. But we don't really work on frame during this lesson, so we were just practicing our jumping. I don't get him to trot at all. It's reversed from the last time we did it. Now he gets to trot that last fence, and the first fence he ends up cantering into the middle fence. So yeah, but then we get the correct lead out of that fence. That was really great. And we come around to our sailboat, very energetic trot, and then I asked for walk, forgetting totally about the sailboat. And then I ask him to go back to trot, and he's very obedient. He does what I ask, and then he does a beautiful jump over the sailboats. This is the end of the video, guys. If you liked it, make sure you subscribe so that you can watch me and Chip's journey as we get ready for our first ever combined test. It is only 2 weeks away, and we are very excited for it. Make sure you like and subscribe for Crazy Horse content for Horse Crazy Kids.